So in the series of learning Python programming language, we have discussed one basic function in Python, that is print. Means how to print something on console. For that we use which function? Print function. Okay. Now next thing is input function in Python. Now if you want to take input from user, then which function we will use? See, in C programming we use scanf function for printf function to print something on the screen, and scanf to take input from user. In C++ we use cout to print something on the screen, cin to take input from the user. So same in Python we use, if you want to take input from user, which function we use? Input function. So this thing we will discuss in this video, everything about input function, how to use this with the help of a program and all, the basic working of this function also. Okay, so now basic syntax. First of all, the syntax of using this function is simply we write input this, and although no, obviously it is a function, I have told you, so this parenthesis. Now in this parenthesis, generally the syntax we write is, it is written like here we have written a word prompt. Now what is this prompt? See, if I want to ask your name with the program, like whenever I run a program or any command in Python, it should ask what is your name. This is my output screen and it should print here what is your name, and then you will enter, like I am entering Jenny. Okay, it will take input from the user, or maybe you will enter your name. Anybody can enter his or her name. So this what is your name, this would be on the screen, this user can see. So this is what a prompt. Prompt is what? It's a message, or you can say string, which will be displayed on the screen before taking input from the user. And prompt is optional. One point to note here is this prompt is optional. If you don't write anything here, then also it will run. If I simply write input in this, then also this function would also run. But in this case, this would not be shown anything, nothing would be shown on the screen. Simply a cursor would be there, maybe a blinking cursor or this kind of cursor. There user can input his or her name or whatever data or the input he or she wants to give. So this prompt is optional. Okay, it's nothing but any string or a message that should be displayed on the screen before taking input from the user. Fine. And by default this input function would return a string. Whatever you will enter, that would be considered as a string. If I enter Jenny, that is a string. If I enter my name 123, that would also be considered as a string. So by default this will return a string. Okay, now how to use this? See, we simply write input and whatever message you want to print, or the prompt, like what is your name, this I want to print. So if you run this on the output screen, what is your name, you will see this thing and then you can enter your name. Okay, this is simple working, or you can say this syntax of this input function. So if I enter here Jenny and simply press enter, then the program is going to exit, and the behind the scene process is what? Whatever name you will enter here, that in the program we have written this line, so this line would be replaced by this string or this message, or you can say this name. Not actually, it's not like that you will see in the program this line would be replaced by Jenny. No. It's behind the scene process, the working. Behind the scene, what is happening? Whenever you will enter any name, click enter. So this name would be, rather than this line here, it would be Jenny. Virtually try to see, rather than this line in your program, we have Jenny. Okay. So let's run a program. We will print, we'll simply ask from the user what is your name, Jenny, and then after that it will print hello Jenny. This kind of program we will make. So let's see. So let's create a new file. Right click on this project, then new file, and input underscore function. dot py. Okay, now we'll simply use input. See, input, below this you can see here we have prompt. So let's write down what is your name. That's it. And let's run this. Right click on this, you can do this thing and run input function, this name. What is your name? See, here program is still running. Okay, now you have to enter your name here. If I click here, then cursor is this, you can see the blinking cursor. So I am entering here Jenny, and now I'll click enter. Enter. Now you can see process finished. Now program, this, and you can say we have exited from this thing. Fine. In print, see, print hello world. If you run this, right click on this, run first, and hello world, just I have run this and you will see this output hello world and process finished. Okay, but in this input function, when you run this, you will not see this line process finished with exit code. Whenever you enter then your name or any string and then you press enter, then program will terminate. Okay, so now it is, you can say let's run this and I'll show you. Let's run this. See, what is your name? It is still waiting to take input from the user. Process finished, you cannot see, you are not seeing that line here. Okay, now if I enter here 1 2 3, that is also, this 1 2 3 also be considered as a string. By default this would consider it as a string. So now see, if I run this again, what is your name and Jenny, and click enter. So now, but what is behind the scene process? This Jenny. So this line input what is your name, this line has been replaced by Jenny, virtually, not actually. You cannot see this thing, but behind the scene it is happening here. So let's do Control Z. So see, if I want to print hello Jenny on the screen, then simply I can print like print hello. Then for concatenation I'm using plus, and this was the method we have discussed in previous video. If I run this, it will print on the screen hello Jenny. See, hello Jenny. See, before this line I have put this hash. So hash is what in Python, this is what hash means. If you want to write down some comment, then just before that line you just put hash. Like in C and C++ we have this this thing, these slash, 2 slash for comment, means that line would not be executed by this interpreter now. So I have put this hash, means this line is now, it's like you can say no more for this program, it's a comment. Okay, now rather than Jenny, if I put this complete thing, I'm not putting Jenny here, I'm putting input what is your name. Okay, first of all it will ask from the user what is your name, then I'll enter Jenny. Let's run this and I'll show you what output you will get. Let's run this. It is asking what is your name. Now I'm entering Jenny. Just click enter and it will show hello Jenny. Okay, so once you will enter Jenny and click enter, then that this thing would be replaced by Jenny virtually behind the scene, and this Jenny and hello, that would be concatenated with plus sign. So that we have discussed in previous video. So it will show you the output hello Jenny. Concatenation we have done only this plus symbol, but more ways are there to concatenate strings and all. So we'll see one by one these things also in later videos. Okay, so I hope now in this, for this video, that is it. I hope you got how to use input function. We have nested, see, we have nested here this input function within print function. So now how it would run? First of all, it will see the print function. Okay, then hello, okay, string hai. Then they have to add, concatenate this plus, then concatenate this thing, but this is what again a function. So first this function would be executed, then Jenny, we will enter any name, then that this line would be replaced by that name, and then finally print function would concatenate this thing using plus, then it will show output. Okay, I hope you got this. So I'll give you one coding exercise also for this input function. So I hope you got what is input function and how to use it. Now an assignment for you is, you have to print this thing. First of all, it should ask from the user what is your name, then user will enter with a space. Here it should be a space, fine. Then user will enter his or her name, whatever name. Then it should print hey, the name like Jenny, comma, how are you. It should print this thing. I hope you can do this. It's very easy. So let's pause the video and do this exercise. Okay. Okay. Now how to print this thing? See, for taking input we will use input. What is your name? Until now we have learned only one thing, like with plus symbol we can concatenate strings. Okay. So this will give this Jenny. So now hey, you have to concatenate this hey, then this comma, then how are you. So how to concatenate this thing and print? Using print we can print. So simply we can concatenate a string here, like before Jenny we have space, then plus, then we have a string hey, and using print we have to print hey, then plus this, plus this. Now plus again this comma, then plus you can write down this string, how are you. This is one way. So I see, as you can see, with plus symbol it is actually very tough, or you can say difficult to concatenate these strings and to take care where to put this comma, then space and all. So there are many more ways also to concatenate these strings, rather than keeping in mind this thing, this you have to put this plus here, then space, and this. Okay, so those ways also we'll discuss when we discuss strings, more about strings. So for now this is the way. Rather than this extra space or separate space, you can put a space here, or you can put this comma here also before this how are you. Fine. Now what is your name? This should print something like this, question mark, and then put a space here, add a space, and then closing braces. So it will add a space here. Okay. So I hope you got this, how to print this thing. So now that's it for today. Now in the next video we'll see what are variables in Python. So now I'll see you in the next video. Till then, bye bye. Take care.